everybody. Welcome to another class of Qi Gong, Tai Chi and Meditation. In our case, it's for better health and prevention of sickness. Right before we started the class, some people were talking about stretching the calf for fasciitis, for other reasons. What I would like you to do is take the chair you have there. If you can bring maybe a book or two books. I myself, I have this little bolster I can use, or I have a slanted board that you can use. But I'm sure everybody have a book or two, and you put the book on the floor, and then you put the ball of the foot on the books. The heels are on the ground. Then you take the chair, or if you need a taller chair, you do it on the cabinet or the back of the sofa, or you turn the chair around and you just bend down on top of the chair like this. I also call this vitamin H because it also gets your hamstring. So vitamin H for hamstring. But it's a great calf stretcher. If you don't go as high on the books, just the ball of the toes and the edge of the ball of the foot, it's less. If you climb on top of the book all the way to the middle of the foot, it's more. So remember my principle of the 80% effort, or less is more, because it's not about one time, it's about consistency and knowledge and practice. So you just stay there, and then I take my timer, and I like to put 3-4 minutes, but because we don't have a lot of time, I'm just going to put a minute for us today. I put the minute. I'm in the posture. I move my knees back. I lift my sitting bones up into the air. I raise my kneecap up. The legs are working, kind of, from the knees to the pelvis, but the spine is totally relaxed. So that's his body. Then the next building blocks that we talked about in my classes is the breath. So I deep breathing in and out through the nose. I follow the breath. So that's the third building block, the mind. So now we have body, breath, and mind. Then I visualize the healing energy ball 2 inches below the navel. A healing energy ball in the center of the body. So that's your energy. Then I have body, breath, mind, and energy. And last but not least is your spirit. So you want to evoke the spirit somehow. So maybe here you can feel like I call it a baby mountain. Or if you visualize the lower energy center as the sun or the full moon. So that's again another trick to feel spiritual. And I stay there, I do deep breathing. And my mind monitor the 5 building blocks. So I monitor the body. I make sure my breath is nice and long and deep. I visualize the lower energy center. And then I make it into the sun. So I just visualize the sun right in the center of the body. And then you come out of it slowly. So of course, this is just a little pace. But if you really want to stretch the calves, do it a few times throughout the day. And before you see it, you'll see the improvement. You'll feel it. And then you can go lower or higher, depending which, if you, the soles of the feet, you can go a little higher. If you're bending down, you can start going lower. Both will increase the calf stretch as well as the hamstring, the lower back, and the neck. So do that for a few days and you'll see big difference in the fasciitis, soles of the feet. Another thing we talked about before the class was stress, and try to get the immune system to behave a little more balanced. That's a hard one, there's no science to it yet, but definitely reducing both physical and mental stress with deep breathing and meditation may help. So one way, there's a lot of stress in the internal organs. That's one of the areas there's a lot of stress. So let's do this. You sit on the edge of the chair. You're going to rub your hands and make them nice and warm. Make them warm, rub, until they become really warm, hot, and then you circle them on top of the internal organs. You go up the right, center, and down the left. And you feel the warmth from your palm, and you let it penetrate deep into the internal organs. And find your own speed, your own tempo, and then you just feel the heat goes into the internal organs. At the same time, the mind goes there, and you try to dissolve the internal organs. We're going to work with the metaphor solid to liquid and liquid to gas. So whatever I feel solid, whatever I feel first, call it solid. And then with the palm, the warmth of the palm and the mind, you try to dissolve it. One metaphor is solid to liquid, liquid to gas. So that's the words solid to liquid and liquid to gas. Then again, I warm up the palms. And again, circle it. So you can circle both hands, or you can put the left hand down where the lower energy center is, and then you just circle the right hand. At the same time, I take deep breath in and out through the nose. Keep your chin up, keep your head suspended, shoulders relax. This can also be done mentally. Let's say you lie in bed, you have a hard time falling asleep. So the first trick is just focus on the breath, in and out, in and out. Don't let any thoughts come in. If a thought's try to come in, you go, no, no, no. And you just focus on the breath. If you have to say a word, say a word. I used to say water, 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 water. And slowly over time, it just became into the breath. And then if I wake up in the middle of the night, I have to go to the bathroom or something, and I just go back and I just focus on the breath, on the word. I don't let any thoughts come in. I have 4 kids, trust me. As soon as you're up, a thought will come in, one of them, or this, or that, and before you know it, I call it the third thought. On the third thought, that's it. You cannot go back to sleep. So you can't even let the second thought come in. You just have to block it at the first thought. So you do it with the breath or with the mantra, a word. Or you can also put the mind as you lie down in the internal organs and dissolve them without the movement of the hand. So just to do it mentally. So that's called the dissolving in the internal organs. Another way to increase lung capacity and oxygen intake is there's a beautiful motion in Qi Gong. It's from the Tai Chi Qi Gong, so it's health and martial art, and it's called the crane flies. So you're going to sit on the edge of the chair. On the inhalation, you move your arms up. On exhalation, you move down. Inhale. This also builds up about like the whole core strength, because you do it 3-4 minutes and you go slow. So it's almost like your arms are the weights. And when you're in the center here, your wrists are straight, you spread the fingers. When you go up here, you put all 5 fingers together like the beak of the crane. So you go here, straight the wrist, spread the fingers, go down, then I tense the wrist like I'm pushing my weight off the table. So my palms are flat on the table, fingers pointing to the side. I come to the center, straight the wrist, spread the fingers. I go to the top, I put all 5 together. Inhale on the way up. Exhale. In and out through the nose. The tongue touch the roof of the mouth. If you can go as high up here, make it small, even if you go here, down here. Or if one arm, let's say you have some issue in an arm, arthritis, frozen shoulder, and on and on, one arm can go to here and one to here. So each arm is separate according, 80% according to that arm. At the same time, you see how you sit up straight. So your back muscles are getting stronger. We talked about, let's say, if you feel, oh, Rami, it's hard. I'm already sitting straight for a minute, 2 minutes. So you take a firm pillow and you put it behind and you move back to the back part of the chair and you use that to support your spine and try to keep your spine as straight as possible, as long as possible. Again, if you sit straight throughout the day at your computer, in your car, at the couch, which is very hard, those places, it reduces stress off your vertebrae, off the internal organs. We talked about it in the first class, if you sit collapse, you create a lot of stress on the vertebrae, on the internal organs, on the lungs, on the joints. I talked about why it's important to breathe in through the nose, because you have air that filters the bacteria and sends messages to the brain to release mucus if needed, to fight bacteria, versus if you breathe in through the mouth, you're more susceptible to sickness. So if you already have a weaker immune system as it is, let's say, you don't want to stress the immune system more with open mouth breathing. Now, by now, some of you will feel it in the shoulders, in the arms. If you want to make it smaller, make it smaller. But over time and practice, you'll get stronger and you'll be able to just flap your wings like this for the whole 3-4 minutes. At the same time, if you can, when you inhale, draw the abdominal and the back muscles in. When you exhale out. When you inhale, draw the abdominal and the back muscles in. When you exhale out. So you keep massaging the internal organs using the abdominal and the back muscles. That's a big principle in Qi Gong and Tai Chi. But when you see the people doing the Tai Chi form really, really slow, you say, what, it looks like a dance. But no, while they're doing the external motions, a lot of stuff happens internally. I call it mental and physical skills. One of the skills is the ability to move the abdominal and the back muscles in and out with every breath. So we're going to do that. I call that empty full moon. So when the muscle move in, both the front and the back, it's empty moon. And when they move out, it's full moon. Empty moon, full moon. Let's try doing that. So you can put one hand in the back, one in the front, or if you're a beginner, sometimes you just start with moving the front before the back. Inhale, move the abdomen, the back muscles in, exhale out. The tongue touch the roof of the mouth. That closes the energetic circuits called conception and governing vessels, which are in charge of all the yin and yang energy channels to the 12 organs. And someone will say, Rami, we don't have 12 organs, we only have 10. So the Chinese consider two more parts of the body as organs. One is the pericardium, it's the sac that wraps the heart. And one is called the triple burner. It's the area that we change essence into energy. So one is the air you breathe, two is the food you eat, and three is genetically what you get from your parents. Inhale, move the abdomen, the back muscles in, exhale out. At first, when you move the abdominal muscles, they move in one piece, hopefully, or only a certain area, but one piece. Once you train it for a while, you'll be able to move the abdominal muscles in a wave, like a belly dancer. All it is, it's just muscle control. So we don't use it, you lose it. Who really needs to move the abdominal muscles? Nobody. So because you're not doing it anymore, you lost it. When do we use it? When we're in the embryo. When we're in the embryo and we're connected into the umbilical cord, how do you think you get the oxygen and nutrients? Your abdominal muscles move in and out, and it sucks everything through the umbilical cord. And when you come out, as I said, I have 4 kids. I looked at all 4 of them. Around 6, 7, 8, they lose it. They stop using the abdominal muscles. Around 3, 4, 5, they're running naked in the yard. They'll look at an airplane and say, airplane, airplane. And you can still see the abdominal muscles just whoop, 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 moving in and out. Around 8, they say, airplane, airplane, nothing moves anymore. So it takes about 6, 7 years to not use it anymore. Unless you're taught differently and then you keep using it again. This is a very important element principle because what it does, when abdominal muscles move in and out, first they massage your internal organs. They create circulation. They remove stagnation. They really help with the bowel, gas, on and on. Second, when you move them in and out, they become stronger. So they become stronger, they're able to support the spine better because you need some other muscles to support the spine than just the lower back muscles. That's the only chance you have. Otherwise, that's why so many people have back problems. Second, you sit like this, you move it, they build energy. So if you visualize the lower energy center, all this energy that you build from the movement goes into the energetic system. And that upgrades your whole energetic system. So you keep feeding the energy into the lower energy center. And the lower energy center is like a battery, an EMF, electromagnetic force. And that's where you store all the chi, the energy, and then it spreads itself everywhere throughout the body. So just by doing that, you may start feeling, wow, Rami, feeling really nice and warm, especially in the joints. And you can see how all this can lead to a more balanced immune system. There's still no science to it, but working for the last 20 years in research and with different conditions and seeing some what they call antidotes, just here and there cases, definitely there's a lot of benefit to this meditation. This is a Taoist meditation. And another thing that we do to increase oxygen intake, achieve deeper levels of relaxation on a mental level first, and then physically reduce stress off the shoulders and the arms and the neck, is the baby crane flies. So I line up the fingers towards one another. I bring my elbows together. So now my fingers above my nose, where my eyebrows, the top of the fingers is where the eyebrows. And then I move my elbows up. The fingers point to one another. Then I bring the back palms together. Now my nose is sticking from the top of where the wrists are. The elbows are pointing about 45 degrees if possible. And then I exhale, bring the elbows as close as possible to one another. Inhale. Exhale. I always say a good teacher will teach you sitting still meditation, sitting moving meditation, standing still meditation, moving standing meditation, and moving through space meditation. So then you don't confuse your students saying, oh, there's only meditation sitting. Most people know only sitting or standing. No, then they realize, oh, it's like connect the dots. It's like life. You lie, you sit, you stand, you walk. So if you learn to meditate in all of those postures, hopefully that will change your whole life into being a more of a meditative person, or just the ability to reach the brainwave between awake and asleep by demand. Because meditation, it's that zeta, it's the brainwave right between awake and asleep. So it's mastering the brainwaves, really, meditation. There's millions ways to achieve those brainwaves. There's apps with music, with sounds. You go out for nature, you can drink a glass of wine, there's many ways to achieve those brainwaves. Music, but those are all, I call it, external methods. And you want it eventually to reach the deeper levels of just using your breath, of just using the visualization of the lower energy center. The breath is more Zen, it's Buddhist. The lower energy visualization is more Taoist. The Tai Chi uses the lower energy center because it's for health and martial art. And the lower energy center also has a purpose. When you punch and kick, you want to move from the lower energy center, because that generates more force than just using your arms and legs. And it's all in all physical actions. If you look at the baseball pitcher or the batter, they use that area, center of gravity, energy center. A lot of the martial arts are that way. A lot of dancing, different physical activities have a strong focus on center of gravity, or as I call it, center of gravity energy center. So it's a combination of Western terminology and Eastern concept. Another area that we have a lot of stress is the shoulders, neck. People actually get migraines from having stress in the shoulders. 30% of women migraine is from stress in the shoulder. Another 30% is hormones. And another 30% is a combination of both. So you put your hands on the waist. I call this look to the left, look to the right. Relax your shoulders. As you turn, you inhale. As you come to the center, you exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Remember, when you inhale, draw the abdomen, the back muscles in. If you can still visualize the healing energy ball or the sun 2 inches below the navel in the center of the body. If you can't, you just say, Rami, that's too much information. So you say, okay, just pull yourself back. First, focus on the motion, on the deep breathing, on the posture, and then over time, you add the movement of the abdomen and the back muscles, and over time, you add the visualization, or the other way around. First, you do the visualization, then the movement of the abdomen and the back muscles. When I turn my head to the left, I open my eyes and I look far, far away. It's called in Qi Gong and Tai Chi, fury eyes or tiger eyes. When I come to the center, I close my eyes. Open your eyes, look. Close your eyes. This is called, when you close your eyes, it's cool the spirit. When you open your eyes, it's raise the spirit. Yeah, I'm sorry that I'm talking so much. A lot of my classes, it's less talk, more action, but I only see you once a month. So if I just do it, I want to give you the information so you'll know more than you can do. My teacher used to say, a good teacher will give you a map, and you don't know the whole map, but you have the map. Now you just have to learn how to walk through the map to where you want to get to. But first you want to have the map before you just wander around and get lost. So the talking is the map, it's the information, it's the knowledge. Later, you can put your timer for 3 minutes, but in silent, do this for 3 minutes, or any other exercise that we did in our class. So me talking, don't take it, it's important. It's there's a book by Lao Tzu, it says, my words are simple, but hard to understand. And what he means is, until you don't experience it, you don't understand my words sometimes. So you hear the words, you practice it, and suddenly the words will make more and more sense over time. Remember, my words are simple, but hard to understand. Okay, so you want to now rotate the shoulders backward. Nice, smooth circles. See if you can do half a circle inhalation when you go up, and on the way back down behind, exhale, inhale, and exhale. If the shoulders are making like a sound, make the circle smaller. The sound sometimes is two bones touching one another, and it's because your soft tissue is shrunk and tight, and the one bone is close to the other, and it just grinds. One touches the other. So make the circle smaller. Keep doing the neck exercise, the shoulder exercise, and a few other ones. Open the shoulders, release the whole shoulder girdle from being a prisoner of the soft tissue. And you'll find out over time in practice, oh, wow, I can make bigger circles without the sound. So that would be a sign for you that, oh, wow, I was able to loosen up some of the soft tissue around the shoulders, and now I'm more free. Part of what I'm trying to teach people, or what I try to do myself, my wife and I, is free the skeleton from being a prisoner of the soft tissue. As we age, lifestyle, modernization, weather, food, posture, aging, all shrinks the soft tissue on top of your skeleton. And before you know it, you become a prisoner of your soft tissue. What is soft tissue? Skin, fascia, muscle, tendons, and ligaments. So all that shrinks, and then you're restricted. And my theory is that circulation slows down, messaging slows down. So that's how I see all this affects all your system, including the immune system. So the messaging system becomes more efficient. Or another way of looking at it, I say, you want to reach your potential environment for all system to function. So part of that is freeing the skeleton from being a prisoner of the soft tissue. Another part is the deep breathing. Another part is the mind. The fourth part is the energetic system. And last but not least is keep evoking your spirit on maybe 10 times a day. Evoking your spirit is very simple. I'm, for example, a nature guy. So I just look outside, and before I go out to my car, I just look at the sky. If I see the birds, I recognize them. The leaves just in the last week and a half, whoop, all blossomed here in Boston. It was bare trees until 2 weeks ago. So recognize the spirit around you. If you're religious, people touch the cross or people think of God or something. So keep evoking the spirit. Every time you evoke your spirit, the movement are all crane fly, baby crane, fury eyes, all have spiritual elements in them. The lower energy center of the sun or the moon. So when you evoke the spirit, it's a front part of your lobes getting activated, and it affects the pituitary gland, which is the master gland. So there's a strong connection between being spiritual and having this. It's called happy hormone production. Google it. Okay. Then circle the shoulders forward. I'm going to add a little element because I think I'm almost running out of time here. So at the same time, see if you can grab your elbows behind your back. So that's what we're designed to do. But a lot of people can't do this anymore. So you start from the wrists. And then you go to the forearms over time. And then slowly you go into the elbows. Now, it's not to say if you're going to have arthritis or if you have a frozen shoulder or any other injuries, you won't be able to maybe grab the elbows, but you do the best you can do with what you have. Then you do the deep breathing in and out through the nose. And then now I'm going to circle the shoulders back at the same time. Of course, you can isolate the neck by itself, forward circles by itself, back shoulder circles by itself, and then gripping the elbows. With my students, we do this like this. You grab your elbows and you face the wall. And then you do the deep breathing and you pretend you're a mountain. And there's a saying, when being still, be as still as a mountain. And then look for the motion in the stillness and look for the stillness in the motion. When moving, move as the great river. That's all yin yang. Sometimes you're still, but there's still motion inside the stillness. Sometimes you're moving, but there's stillness in the motion. A lot of what I'm showing you also has usually 3 circles. So if I'm working with the shoulders, you can go small circles, medium, and large. Same with the neck. Small, medium, and large. So you want to go from small to large and from slow to medium, because fast is it's Kung Fu. So forget that. For us, we don't need that. It's say from slow to fast, from small to large. But in our case, it's from small to large, slow to medium. There's no need for fast for health. Fast is more for the martial art. Another area that we want to tap. So we went over tapping over the last classes. We tapped the arms, we tapped the legs. Today we worked on the internal organs. You can do it also with tapping. But another good area to tap is the Ming Meng. It's called the life doors in acupuncture and Chinese Qi Gong. It's where the kidneys are, and it's also a nice stretch for the arms. You take the fist and you just tap gently on your kidneys. This can be done sitting or standing. So I'm tapping the kidneys area. Deep breathing. Then one more little one, rub your hands and circle the knees. The joints is another area that likes warmth, heat, massage. The ligaments are the boosters of the energetic system. So when you take care of the joints, you also upgrade your energetic system, you create better circulation. But you want to keep healthy joints, especially the knees, possible. Very debilitating to have knee issues. I worked for 20 years with research at Tufts with osteoarthritis of the knees. I've been going through thousands of people over the last 20 years, literally, and seeing so many different problems, so many different issues with the knees. And I've seen how much the mind body can help with the knees and other joints as well. I circle the knees, put the heat in there, then I put my mind. Again, I'm going to finish with a sentence that I like to say. I'm not going to wait for science to tell me that the power of the mind can help me with my journey towards better health and prevention. I'm going to, by the time science is going to discover it, I'm going to die. So I believe strongly in the power of the mind. I believe in the mind going to different areas of the body and taking an active role in healing and prevention. So remember that. Don't wait for science to tell you, oh, if you have this and that problem. Sure, it's a combination of Western medicine and Eastern philosophies. At the same time, when you do the Western ones, you also spend time in meditation and utilizing the power of the mind to help this specific goal of whatever you have that you want to help with. Other than that, thank you very much. Here, my son just got home. I have a half an hour with him because he flies to Miami today. And I think I'm going to see you again one more time. If not, Anne will talk to me and we'll go from there. Thank you. Regarding questions, you can email it to me. I can answer it and you can post it. Thank you, guys. Have a great one. Bye.